Okay, class, turn back to page 8 and we're going to practice being scientists for our next activity. Scientists are always careful observers of the world around them, and they use these observations to form hypotheses. Have any of you heard of the word hypothesis before? Can anybody maybe try and define it for me? It's okay if no one knows. It's a very big word. A hypothesis is an educated guess based on observation. So, when scientists are out in the field, they record their observations in a field journal. And a lot of times, while they do this, they're just doing fast little sketches of what they see and taking little notes as they're exploring so that they can remember it later. And a lot of times they use this to practice sketching birds or different plants that they see that they might not get to look at for a long time. So, we're going to practice being scientists with our field journals. And I know it can be hard to draw an entire bird really quickly, so we're going to start with just some body parts. So on page 8 under activity 3, if you look at the little boxes, I'm going to show you a photo of a belted kingfisher part. You're going to have 30 seconds to quick sketch what you see in that little box, and then you can take a couple notes on the lines as well. And just remember that scientists are doing this so that they can learn about the shape and function of what they study, not necessarily so that it looks pretty. So don't stress yourself out just because it's a fast drawing. It's okay. We're just going to try really quick. So, are you ready? Set, and go. We got 30 seconds. Try and draw some of the things you notice about the kingfisher beak. And let me know, put your pencils up when you're all done. Okay, are you all ready? Are you all done? Awesome. So we're going to go into our next part of this, which is going to be practicing making a kingfisher beak. All right, take your beaks. Should look like this. I want everybody to take this beak and practice making some quick stabbing motions. We are pretending to be the kingfisher. What does everybody think the kingfisher does with this long pointed beak? Does he need it to make his long bird songs? Does he use it to help him get certain types of food? What do you guys all think? Take a moment. I want you to take your beaks, and I'm going to send you all into breakout rooms. So I want you all to go out into your breakout rooms. There will just be a couple of you. Take your observations, and I want you to form a hypothesis for how you think the kingfisher uses his beak, and then we're all going to come back and share a couple things with the rest of the class so we all can gather what we learned. All right, let's bring it all back in. What did everybody discuss? Can a couple people share back what you talked about? What do you all think the kingfisher uses his beak for? Yeah, so did anyone remember how we talked about the kingfisher eating fish and frogs and other things that might live in the water? So yeah, they have this really long, sharp beak and they use it like a spear. They'll hover really high up above the water and then fly straight down into it and jab their prey and bring it back up. And sometimes if the prey's not already dead, they'll have to slam it on the ground and then they swallow it whole. I know, crazy, right? But yeah, that was some excellent observational work you all did. Now we're going to try again with some kingfisher feet. So, get ready, put up the next slide, and is everyone ready for their quick little drawing? Okay, ready, set, go. 30 seconds again, do a little doodle, get down the shape of everything, maybe make a note about the color or texture or size, anything you notice that you think might be important. Okay. And so, taking those observations, we're going to next make our feet into tiny little kingfisher feet. So the kingfisher only has 4 toes. There's 1 in the back, 2 in the front are fused, and then there's the 3rd one, but we can just pretend. So everyone make your kingfisher feet, and they're very short and stubby, so hold them here and think about what does the kingfisher use these feet for? We already know that the kingfisher uses his beak to spear the fish, but what could these feet be used for? Is it helping him run? Is it to sit somewhere for a super long time? Is it to carry things all around? These are some of the questions you can be thinking about in your next breakout room. So I'm going to send you out, use the things that you observed and use your notes and form another hypothesis and then be ready to share back. Okay, you all know the drill. So what did you all come up with? Can somebody share back? Let me know. Yeah, very cool. I love the way you are all using your observations and things that you noticed to form smart, educated guesses. You're doing so well. Like we already learned, the kingfisher uses his beak for hunting, so probably his feet aren't going to be helping do a lot of that. And we also learned that the kingfisher swallows their prey whole, so they probably don't use their feet to carry their prey long distances either. So, what might those short little stubby feet be used for? Waiting around on a branch all day, maybe? Yeah. So when the kingfisher is waiting for its food to come by, it has to have strong, sturdy feet so that it can sit on the branch and hover over the water and wait until it sees something moving, like a fish or a frog or anything that it can be ready to dive down and get its next meal. So that is what the kingfisher uses his stubby feet for. Okay, so for our last photo, I have pictures of two different kingfishers up on the board. We're going to try one last field sketch. You only have to pick one of the two birds since I know it's a lot to try and draw two birds, but 30 more seconds. Just pick whichever one you like the best and practice for one last time. All right, ready and go. All right, so can a couple people let me know what they notice about these two birds? What do you notice that's different? Do you notice that red belt? Yeah, can anybody tell me what the difference is? Does anybody want to make a guess? Yeah, so this is a male and a female belted kingfisher. Does anybody have a guess as to which is which? Raise your hand if you think the one on the left is a female. Raise your hand if you think the one on the right is a female. Well, the second guess was correct. The one on the right is a female, but if you got it wrong, don't worry because the belted kingfisher is actually kind of an anomaly. So when male and female of the same species look different, it's called sexual dimorphism. And usually in birds, it happens where the male bird is the more colorful and the females are usually not as colorful. The belted kingfisher is one of the only birds where there's actual reverse sexual dimorphism and the female is more brightly colored than the male. Does anybody know why this is? I'm going to send you out into one more small group, come up with one last hypothesis for what you think the female belted kingfisher might use this brown band for, or why the male belted kingfisher might need to have blue and white only, and come back and let me know. So, 2 or 3 more minutes, last time. Use your observation skills and come back with a hypothesis. Alright, y'all. Can I have 1 or 2 more people let me know what they think? Maybe someone who hasn't shared yet today. Let me know what your hypotheses you all came up with. Yeah, so those are all really excellent ideas. And I'm really proud of the connections you're all making with what we've learned today. As for the answer, quote unquote answer, I don't actually have an answer for you as to why the female belted kingfisher has that belt. Yeah, I know. Scientists have still not figured out exactly why the females have this. There's a couple hypotheses, but nothing is really concrete yet. So this just goes to show that science is always evolving and always expanding, and there's always new things for everyone to figure out. So make sure as you go forward you keep those observational tools in hand and you really practice noticing things about the world around you, asking questions, forming hypotheses, and maybe one day you can be a scientist too and you'll figure out why the female belted kingfisher has this brown belt on her. Alright, you all did such an excellent job today. I really want to say thank you for paying such good attention and for focus and for such good discussions. A couple people let us know what's one thing that you're going to leave today and remember. What's one thing that you learned today? Maybe 2 or 3 people. yeah, so really just if you all can remember anything at the end of today, it's that you all can be scientists too. And you know what? We've all been being scientists all day and we've been practicing. So really take that with you and don't forget it as you go forward in life. And also, don't forget about your bingo for the upcoming week. We have one more week left, so really try and see if you have any bingos left to get. See if there's anything cool. Maybe ask your parents if they'll go on a walk with you. Um, and I hope you have a good rest of your week. Don't forget to look at the sky, see some birds, and we will see you next week. Adios, estudiantes.